Let's get to some juicy stuff here. When you were approached about the whole Cyndi Lauper angle, you being old school, and now they want to bring in, this person, Cyndi Lauper, who wasn't a wrestler in the wrestling industry, and do that thing. How did you feel when you were first approached about it?
I don't know. I really didn't know anything about Cyndi Lauper because I never went for that kind of music,
Mm-hmm.
I was in country music ever since I can remember, And Lou told me, he says, I met her on the plane going to Puerto Rico, and she was real interested about getting mixed in with wrestling, And I said, well, what does she know about it? He said, no, she don't want to wrestle. She just wants to be a manager. And then finally it come out, what he had went to Vince and talked to Vince about it. And I guess they thought it would draw a lot of money. So that's what happened.
Did you, were you, again, being old school and very protective of the business, were you afraid that maybe letting somebody like a Cyndi Lauper in would expose the business a little bit?
Bring Cyndi Lauper in there.
No.
Yeah. No. What did you think, Johnny May, of the whole Cyndi Lauper thing? Johnny May?
Huh?
What did you think of the whole Cyndi Lauper thing?
She's sleeping
Are
again.
you sleeping? Is Moolah putting you to sleep?
Wake up, Johnny May.
No, actually, I really enjoyed the little skit that they did, but I never did think Cyndi was anything other than just a showman.
Now, Moolah, how did life change for you? Because now, while you were the most dominant women's wrestler of your era, now you're a part of pop culture. You're on MTV now. Everybody, whether you were a wrestling fan or not, knew who you were. How did life change for you at that time?
Well, that's when we were doing all this down in Baltimore, right?
This was right WrestleMania with Cyndi Lauper and the MTV thing.
Well, I don't know how to tell you because it just, all of a sudden things just changed with WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And changed for the best, because then there's thousands of people and thousands and thousands, and you just look out and you can't see nothing but little dots. There's so many people,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, wow, how did this happen? Vince McMahon. All I know.
Did you suggest Leilani Kai for being part of that angle? Did you actually recommend Leilani Kai for that?
When I managed Leilani?
Yeah. Did you actually recommend Leilani for that?
Oh, sure I did.
Yeah.
Because Leilani was very good. But, I don't know. Like I said, she was goofy. It's real goofy.
Mm-hmm. Johnny May, did they ask you, did during the 80s, were you ever approached about getting involved in anything in New York with Vince?
No.
No?
No.
Looking back on it now, just reminiscing about WrestleMania and having, some will say you were the main event, with Cyndi Lauper and everything involved. What do you think looking back on it now?
Well, I just think it was wonderful, and I didn't think that I would ever be so lucky as to be a main eventer on that.
Yeah.
But again, God helped me out. I believe in God, and I think God does wonders.
Can you talk again? Something else people from my generation remember you fondly for is the Spider Lady matchup. It's been replayed many times, especially with Montreal just a couple of years ago. Can you talk about that? How that came about, and and just being in there and the moment that Wendi realized it was you under the mask?
Well, that way it happened. We went to the dressing room, and I had been after her for a rematch. And Vince says, well, as soon as I can get, and I said, okay. So I went to the dressing room that night, and I was managing the girl, the Spider Lady.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Mitch, I want you to take that uniform off. And she said, why? I said, I'm going to wear it tonight. She said, what do you mean? And she said, you mean you're going to let me manage you? I said, I don't need no manager. I'm going to take your place. So that's what happened. They thought it was her instead of me. So I just changed, put on her uniform and went out and wrestled.
What do you remember about when Wendi realized that it was actually you under the mask?
I don't think she did until she pulled my mask off. Maybe when I pinned her, she did, but then because I probably cussed her.
She knew it then.
She knew it then she pulled my mask off. And I said, thank you, because I wanted people to know it was me. She's stupid enough to pull my mask off.
Would you have kept the mask on if she didn't pull it off? Walked out of there with the mask on? Or
I had the mask on.
would you have kept it on and walked out with the mask on and left it a mystery, or were you going to pull the mask
I
off?
probably took it off.
Yeah. Now there was it's well publicized by now. There was a story that Wendi went to Vince right before the match and demanded a whole large sum of money and pretty much upset the office going into that match.
She cut her own throat. That's the way I figured, you know. But like I said, she's working at Wendy's restaurant for $2 an hour. And when I brought her up here and give her a chance like that, then whatever she got, which was a large sum of money, which she probably had never seen that much money before. And then telling Vince, I want so much money. I want the same thing the Sheik got. I said, are you crazy, Wendy? What's wrong with you? I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe anybody be that stupid. If Vince would call me right now and tell me, Lil, I want you to come up here and give me a free show, I said, I'll be there. I would. I'd go because they've done so much for me. You know?
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.